It could be a manufacturer, an importer, a consignor, or a carrier. It could be a warehouse employee, a broker, or a consignee. Someone is always responsible when dangerous goods are handled, offered for transport, and transported. Everyone involved with dangerous goods must comply with the provisions of the Transportation of Dangerous Goods regulations.
Let's start with manufacturers and importers, who have the primary responsibility for ensuring accurate classification of dangerous goods. This involves using Schedule 2 of the regulations. It contains 2 lists of dangerous goods. List 1 is a comprehensive list of explosives, also known as Dangerous Goods Class 1. List 2 is a comprehensive list of dangerous goods in the other 8 classes. The dangerous goods that are listed in lowercase letters are fully specified dangerous goods, which means that the classification, product identification number, packing group, and the conditions under which it may be transported have all been defined. If the dangerous goods are not listed as fully specified dangerous goods, the manufacturer or importer will have to ensure the classification of the product. Depending on the risk involved, this is done either through the use of the criteria in Part 3 of the regulations or through the appropriate authority or legislation. For example, explosives must be classified by Energy Mines and Resources Canada.
Once the classification is complete, the consignor must package or contain the dangerous goods to meet any specified safety requirements. And the appropriate safety marks must be displayed in the proper manner and location on the packages, containers, or cylinders. The consignor is also responsible for preparing the paperwork that must accompany every consignment of dangerous goods. Under the regulations, the shipping document and any certificates or permits, Emergency Response Assistance Plan reference number, and 24-hour emergency telephone number must be handed over to the initial carrier and remain with the cargo throughout its journey. It is also the consignor's responsibility to notify specific authorities of certain shipments. For example, notification is required when the dangerous goods are infectious materials, wastes, or going through a port on a ship other than a roll-on, roll-off vessel.
While it's up to the consignor to provide placards, the carrier must see to it that they are properly displayed on the transport vehicle, to replace them if they become damaged or lost, and to keep them clean during the journey. The initial carrier must ensure that the documentation matches the cargo and that it is handed on to any interlining carrier or to the consignee at the end of the journey. The carrier is responsible for the safe transport of dangerous goods. This means that the goods must be properly secured during transport and segregated from other cargo.
The consignee, as well as the consignor and carrier, are responsible for completing, signing, and forwarding documentation for dangerous wastes to the appropriate provincial, territorial, or federal authority. When returning empty packages, containers, or vehicles that have not been purged or cleaned, the consignee becomes a consignor and must fulfill a consignor's responsibilities.
Whoever is in charge of dangerous goods at any given time has responsibilities under the regulations. For instance, anyone in charge of dangerous goods must report to designated authorities when there is a discharge or emission from any container or means of transport, when there is a dangerous occurrence or accident, when certain dangerous goods have been lost, misplaced, or stolen, and when there has been a delay in the delivery of certain explosives. All those who offer dangerous goods for transport, or who actually transport them, must ensure that their employees are trained or are working under the direct supervision of a trained person.
With the cooperation of all those involved in the transportation of dangerous goods, the new regulations will help save lives and protect property and the environment from coast to coast.